Welcome back, everyone. Today, we're going to be talking about Notes from Underground by Fyodor Dostoevsky and why I think you should read it. So, I recently did a video on why I think you should read Crime and Punishment by Fyodor Dostoevsky, which is my favorite novel of all time. This is a new series that I'm doing, so I'm going to be putting out a video like this every single week on why I think you should read a certain book. If you guys have any recommendations, you guys can let me know down in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you guys like this video. It helps boost this channel in the algorithm. And with that all out of the way, let's talk about Notes from Underground. So, Notes from Underground was written in 1864. It's only 136 pages. It's very short, depending on your edition, obviously. I've seen some editions that's even shorter than that. And personally, I really like the Richard Pevear and Larissa Volokonsky translations. For me, I think that these translations just capture the Russian essence the best. But I can do a full video breaking down the different translations of Dostoevsky in the future. I'm just not going to do that here today. So I'm going to run through the synopsis, just a quick little summary of what this novel's about, and then I'm going to talk about a couple personal reasons why I love this book so much. So a brief little summary. Notes from Underground explores the inner turmoil of an unnamed narrator, the Underground Man, a retired civil servant living in 19th century St. Petersburg who has chosen to isolate himself from society. Bitter, self-conscious, and contradictory, he expresses disdain for societal norms while grappling with feelings of superiority and inadequacy. The novel is divided into two parts. First, Underground delves into his philosophical musings, rejecting rationalism and embracing the irrationality of human nature, while the second, Apropos of the Wet Snow, recounts specific episodes from his life, including awkward encounters with old acquaintances and a painful relationship with a prostitute named Lisa. Through these events, Dostoevsky examines themes of alienation, free will, and the human search for meaning, making Notes from Underground a profound early exploration of existential thought. So that gives you guys kind of a general overview of what the book is about. This book was partly in response to Nikolai Chernyshevsky's novel, What Is to Be Done, which promoted utopian socialist ideals. Dostoevsky sought to critique the ideal of rational, ideal society, emphasizing the unpredictability and irrationality of human nature. So I think that that's a cool fact to throw in there. I'm going to mention a couple people who cite this book as their favorite book or one of their favorite books of all time. I find that an interesting bit of information to throw into these videos. So Franz Kafka, Jean-Paul Sartre, I can never say his name fully correctly, but Albert Camus, David Foster Wallace. I'll have to make a video on him eventually because he's an absolute enigma. Vladimir Nabokov, Ralph Ellison, Ernest Hemingway, obviously Jordan Peterson, Henry Miller, and Friedrich Nietzsche, although he never specifically mentioned Notes from Underground. He's always said that he was a huge admirer of all of Dostoevsky's works. So a few quotes that I really like about Dostoevsky and Notes from Underground. Franz Kafka once said, Dostoevsky gives me more than any scientist, more than Gauss. So that's an incredible compliment. And then Jean-Paul Sartre said, Dostoevsky's Underground Man is the purest expression of existentialism in literature, which is, again, a huge compliment. And then Albert Camus, again, one of the kings of existential literature, said, if you want to know what man is, read Dostoevsky. So those are three quotes that I really like. So I'll talk about a couple of the personal reasons why I love this book. For me, this was a book that came to me at the perfect time in my life. I was about, 19 years old. I was going through a bit of an existential crisis. I've had a few of those in my life. I wouldn't say that I was in a depression, but I was in a dark spot, and this book brought me out of that. So for me, this book, I can kind of say it saved me in a way, and I feel like if you read it, it could be very healing for you as well. If you read this book and you don't feel like it saved you, you might at least recognize the qualities within it that could help other people, and I find it a useful tool to give to other people. I've given this book to quite a few friends, and it's brought them out of some dark places. This is one of those holy grace books that just it helps you look inside at the I don't know, the negative and darker qualities that maybe you possess that aren't so out there. The things that you keep inside that maybe not everybody sees that are, haunting you. And Dostoevsky paints that out in such a brilliant way, especially in the first half of the book. The way he gets into the head of the Underground Man is brilliant, and the way he's, sketching out his thought patterns, I just found incredibly useful for myself. And then the second half of the book, where you're getting more into the Underground Man's personal experiences and personal conversations, Well, the second half of the book is one of the most heartbreaking pieces of literature I've ever come across in my life. It's shattering. The first time I read it, I was bawling my eyes out crying. I go back and I reread it and I still tear up during the second half of this book because it's rough. And I'm not going to spoil it for anybody who hasn't read this book. I want to keep these reviews spoiler free. These why you should read videos spoiler free. Eventually I'll do a full book analysis video on Notes from Underground where I'll pull the book apart paragraph by paragraph, and we'll look at what actually went on in this book. But I want you guys to go read this book. It's an incredible book. It's one of my favorite books of all time. It's so emotionally impactful. And yeah, that's about all I have to say about it today. If I convinced you guys to go read this book, let me know in the comments and come back once you've read it and let me know what you thought about it. I love engaging with you guys down there. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you guys like this video. Share this with your friends. It helps boost this channel and the algorithm. Thank you guys so much for watching. As always, it means the world to me. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.